All right, share screen and I'll hand it over to Bill.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to the 2022 Poets Choice Program. So popular that it's back for at least the second year. I'm not sure if this is the third year or not, but you know, it's a wonderful time. I'm just going to introduce our host today, and that is Margaret Jane Jones. She is a longtime member of the Suncoast Writers Guild. Margaret joined the Guild when Bernie Redding was the president. And, you know, at that time, it was established at the ongoing precedent, and it's still in vogue today. It was inspiring friendship and helping everybody develop their skills as writers. In the past 20 years, Margaret has written and illustrated a 4-page historical fiction series for children, a Christmas time picture book for children, and a recipe book containing family recipes from the 1900s, a collaborative work of love with her sisters, brother, husband, daughter, and son. So I remember that from last year. It was kind of fun. Margaret, if you're ready to take it over, away we go.
Thank you. Let's see. Well, we present ourselves as a close-knit group of poets, and we've become friends while immersed in our poetry. And our aim this morning is to entertain you and enrich your day. And to give you a peek of what we poets are about, I quote Mary Oliver, who won the National Book Award and Pulitzer Prize for her lifetime achievement in poetry. And she wrote, "A mind that is lively and inquiring, passionate, curious, angry, full of music, full of feeling, is a mind full of possible poetry. Poetry is a life-cherishing force and requires a vision, a faith, to use an old-fashioned term. For poems are not words after all, but fires for the cold, ropes let down for the lost, and something as necessary as bread in the pockets for the hungry." And before we start our poems, I'd like Harry Barnes there in the audience to speak briefly about comments, procedure for comments after we present our poems. Harry, can you take it from there?
I don't know if we can actually see you.
Yeah, that works, yeah.
I don't think we can.
Oh, okay, no problem. To keep our presentations on schedule, please save your comments and questions until the end. And if your memory is like mine, you may want to take notes so you don't forget them. And please remember, use the mic when you're speaking.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harry.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
I can't see anything but Denise Hart. It just, my screen says Denise Hart, and I just see you in the bottom, kind of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's queued up for the presentation.
For the, gotcha, okay, all right.
So
Sorry, you don't see any people at all? You don't see any people at all on your
I
screen?
do, when you talk, I see you come up on the screen.
Yes.
Okay,
now we are not seeing you on the screen. We see your name, Denise, on the screen, but you're going to screen share your poem. Is that correct?
I'm
Denise is.
No, I have them all. I have them all queued up.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Denise. Denise is presenting Earth Day Psalm.
Okay. Thank you. I've written poetry and prose since I was a child. While the two may seem so different in form, the language tools they use are often similar. My poem Earth Day Psalm grew from a Poetry Pod monthly challenge in April this year to write a poem about Earth Day. The Essential Poets Glossary states that a psalm is a sacred song or hymn dating back to the Hebrew poems in the Book of Psalms. I'm a writer, poet, and documentary producer. My work has appeared in Poets and Writers, Boston Globe Sunday Magazine, Anthologies magazines, and on public television. I have an MA in English that I earned from the University of New Hampshire in nonfiction writing, and then a master's in education in counseling from Northeastern University. So here's my poem, Earth Day Psalm. 1. Dear Mother, we humbly ask your forgiveness for all our trespasses. Forgive us for demolishing the forests, your lungs, in our blind rush to assuage profit needs. Forgive us, dear Mother. 2. Forgive us our limited vision that only sees one generation, not the 7 to come, that makes us blind to the needs of your other creatures, the gopher tortoises who lose their burrows to developers, the manatees without seagrass to eat in fouled waters, the wild hogs and panthers who need room to roam. Forgive us, dear Mother. 3. Forgive us the conceit that we were put in dominion over all life on earth, the belief that we have a birthright to such a large footprint, a license to do as we please with your bounty instead of conserving. Forgive us, dear Mother. 4. The waters of the world are drying up, even as the glaciers melt, and still our thirst for more is not slacked. Your tears deluge our cities. How can we repent? Forgive us, dear Mother. 5. Mother, we turn to you. Guide us from this morass. Protect us from our failings. Teach us how to live lightly on your sacred ground so that we may leave no footprint other than the wind whispering we were here. 6. Forgive us, dear Mother. We humbly ask, for we are your children.
Thank you, Denise. That came in very well, and that was a wonderful start. Thank you. Next, we go to Anne Favreau with her poem, Riding the Waves with Santa.
Well, most of you know I've been past president of the Guild, and now I'm acting president of the Poetry Pod chapter of the Florida State Poets Association. I've had poetry published in the Florida Writers Association magazine, their collection, and lots of anthologies. Excuse me. This year, I published Wonder-Filled Places, some of my travel poems. And in 2021, I published A Poetic Journey of Faith. I enjoy sharing my work and have given presentations for several women's groups, and I'm scheduled to do 3 in January. This poem came as a result of a fundraising tea that was held by a Catholic women's group. It was published in their newsletter and used for promotional purposes, and I read it at the event. Riding the Waves with Santa. We're riding the waves with Santa, a holiday theme for our tea. The jolly old man on a jet ski, oh, what a sight that would be. Would he wear a crimson wetsuit? For December's Gulf, I'm told, has water that's chillingly cold. And Santa's not young, he's old. A waterproof pack he might carry, full of gifts and lots of great toys for good little girls and boys awaiting some holiday joys. We're riding the waves with Santa, knowing that supporting this tea will help provide the funds you see for those more needy than you and me. Though Santa may be the fun in this, ladies, we would really be remiss if we forgot Christ's birth's the reason for us to celebrate this Advent season.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. We now turn to Lee Fanning Hall with her poem, Stage Fright.
Good morning. My poem, written in quatrains, was one of this year's winners of the Florida Writers Association Collection Contest. This is my 3rd time having a poem selected for the collection contest book. The theme this year was thrills and chills. But instead of writing about monsters, ghosts, and goblins, I chose to write about a very real fear many people have, stage fright. You might be surprised to know some of the big stars who suffer with this affliction. Andrea Bocelli, Rod Stewart, Donny Osmond, Carly Simon, and Barbara Streisand all suffer from stage fright. I wonder why my musician friend, who's afflicted with stage fright, picked performing as his vocation when he suffers from that plight. What he endures before a show makes for a painful scene. He can't sit still, his heart is racing, his face a sallow shade of green. I know what he has gone through, the price he's paid for this career, the years of preparation and the stomach churning fear. There's cheers and shouts as he goes on stage. He begins his familiar routine. By the end of the second number, he's a rock and roll machine. As the curtain drops and the people leave, I wonder if it's worth the fame. He's pushed through gut-wrenching fear, but tomorrow he'll face the same. I get up the nerve and say to him as I give his cheek a kiss, it can't be good for your health. Why do you stress yourself like this? He says, yes, when I step on stage, it takes all the strength I have inside. But this is what I was born to do. I cannot run away and hide. And even though I'm filled with dread and chills race up and down my spine, the thrill I get from sharing my music is nothing short of love divine.
Thank you, Lee. Wonderful. We go next to Cheryl Baker, beat with her poem, Beads of Gold.
Poetry has been a part of my life since childhood, and now songwriting is too. A friend asked what I was going to write about the hurricane. I saw something uplifting, a ray of hope in my backyard. Thanks go to Eileen Collins for suggesting the title of this free verse poem, which has no set meter or rhyme scheme, but follows the natural rhythm of speech. Beads of Gold. Almost 2 weeks after unwelcome Ian passed, some southern milkweed plants bloomed in my backyard. Nearby, a fat, lethargic monarch caterpillar clung to a short stub of grass. I picked it up and carefully placed it on another milkweed by the pool cage. The next day, it had made its way onto the screening to form a beautiful green chrysalis adorned with tiny gold beads. This morning, a female monarch flitted around the yard, pausing to lay more eggs as nature carries on.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Gloria, I think there's a couple pictures. Yeah, there
Oh,
they are.
yes.
P.S. Yes, the butterfly did hatch, dry its wings, and flitted around the yard before venturing off.
Thank you, Cheryl. We now turn to Carrie Burgess, Memories.
Good morning, I think. I'm not showing up. Am I going? Hello?
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 We can hear you, Kari.
Okay, all right, I'll go on then.
We don't have the screen share, Denise.
My screen share's there, but the picture's not.
I'm not
I don't know.
I'm not operating the screen share. Gloria, are you having problems with the screen share?
No?
It's there.
It'll come up. Can you see your name, Kari?
I see my name, so I'll
Okay,
go on.
do
We're
your
doing the
introduction.
Okay, all right. I just want to say, as past president of the Suncoast Writers, that I'm honored to be a part of this wonderful group. It's been almost, well, maybe a little over 20 years, but I just have so many memories of people who have been involved in this group, and all of you have touched me in some ways, sometimes more than others. I'm a retired teacher and I have a master's degree in English education and in speech and drama. And as you see, I like to go to school. I enjoyed school. And so therefore I loved my teaching years. But when that happened and went away, I had nothing to do. And my husband said, you need to be out there doing something. And he said, I saw in the paper today where they're looking for people to write, and you like to write. Why don't you call? And so I did. And Phyllis Redding and Cheryl took me in. And from that time on, I have been writing and writing and writing. In fact, I looked at my books this morning and I have 6 full binders full of my prose and poetry. Poetry I love. And so I want to share with you my poem, Memories. I'm still not up, but that's okay. Memories. Memories of a time gone by. A moment is here and then it's gone. What could have been still lives on through memories. Memories haunt the days and nights. Some cause pain. Some are good, delight the mind. Who is to know which point in time brings memories? A scent, a flash of light, a smile, laughing children, a moaning sigh, words on a page, a chill, cold breeze, crowds of people, silence. These, a starlit night, a summer breeze, new mown grass conjures up with ease, teenage dreamers drawing castles in the sky, with shapes and tales, touching innocent minds, creating a world of dreams, how things will change, remain the same. The world within their grasp without a thought of times gone by, or dreams once sought by others so long ago. Now seasons have passed and dreams live on, each starlit night with summer, when summer breezes and new mown grass invades the minds of once teenage dreamers. How nice to know throughout all time, as we so blithely go, there is a moment when we can share what others led us to know through memories.
Well done, Kari. Thank you. It is our pleasure to now welcome Deanna Shapiro with her poem, Miracles.
Thank you, Margaret. Good morning, everyone. I basically write narrative poetry, which is something that is a story. It's got a beginning, middle, and end most of the time, but not always. And I wanted to do narrative poetry to mostly begin with my family and tell stories about them. I have published 3 books: Conversations at the Nursing Home, A Mother, a Daughter, and Alzheimer's, The Place You Live In, and Companions Along the Way. I've published in poetry journals such as the Aurorian, Penwood Review, Blue Line, and Tapestries. I've won awards from the Poetry Society of Vermont, and I've been nominated for a Pushcart Prize. I have a master's in music education and school psychology from City College. So my poem today, Miracles, in 3 sections. You know, I say What are miracles? Something that happens that you never dreamed of? A Course in Miracles suggests that miracles are a change in perception. I think when something synchronistic happens, that's a miracle. Here is my poem, Miracles. My husband brought me lilacs, that first lusty scent of spring, from neighbors' shrubs. Ours always failed. This morning, I walked across newly mown grass to greet our first lilacs to bloom, jubilation shared with a rare monarch butterfly. The other day, a woman stopped me in the supermarket and handed me 3 red roses wrapped in cellophane. She said she already had 3 roses, received from a woman, handing them out in front of the market. Upon exiting the store, I looked around. There was no rose lady. I asked myself why this year the service berries appear fuller, the clouds disappearing behind Shell House Mountain feel fluffier, the ravens soaring above look loftier, the sky over Lake Champlain looms larger, the sunset behind the Adirondacks seems showier, and the autumn blaze that replaced the storm-damaged Catalpa stands statelier.
Thank you, Deanna. Next, we go to Tanya Young. Tanya will present her poem, Moore Shore Road.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm not always sure where I'm going when I begin a poem. I may dig deep into a childhood memory with a poem that is simple, sharp-eyed, and often with a twist. Or I may choose a subject just because it captured my attention today. I think that's one of the powers of poetry, finding connections that are both startling and beautiful. And here is my poem, Moore Shore Road. I walk the hard-packed sand, thick with rows of blooming cattails, foxtails we call them, breathing the stink of the bay with wild geese flocking and calling in the soft gray face of morning. Sun-bleached hair blowing across my face, wiping away a history too heavy to carry. Now I sit in ankle-deep weeds on this old broken chair that wobbles a bit, waiting for my mother to visit as a butterfly. Here, take a seat. I've made a place for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. We next go to Harry Barnes, who is in person at the poetry session today. They're in the library. So Harry, we look forward to your poem, Gay Blades.
Thank you, Margaret. And this is Harry Barnes live. To give you some background for, I guess most everyone knows me, but I had the honor of serving as our writing group president from 2019 through 2020. And when things got tough during the pandemic, I turned it over to Gloria. Sorry, Gloria. My poems and short stories appear often in Pen Points and our Inklings anthologies and other periodicals.
It's too echoey. Try
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. The books I've published include 2 novels in my Over the Barnes Bridge series, set in the Appalachian Mountains of Western Maryland, and a collection of short mysteries called Condo Capers, set in Southwest Florida. The manuscript for my third Barnes Bridge novel is with the Sunbury Press, awaiting approval. And my website is bearcreekbarnes.com. To introduce the format for my poem, this is a blank verse poem. There's no rhyming scheme. Rhythm is iambic pentameter, kind of with a speech pattern, da-da, 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 with 10 syllables per line, mostly. Gay blades, kayaking the Lehigh River at ice out. Adrenaline rush, my first river run. Paddle blades flashing in May morning sun. A doe deer appears from the dark hemlock wood as the snowmelt high up pours from ledges. Bluebells and violets, trillium and fern adorn a rocky mid-river meadow. An osprey and eagle soaring above watch my kayak and I carve an eddy. Then slipping upstream, we surf on a wave to rest amid the whitewater tumble. A sweep of my blade and leaning downstream, once again, I let the Lehigh take me. To river right, cinnamon heads bobbing, 8 young mergansers line up behind mom. With web feet working, 4 downy goslings, likewise obedient, toe the line behind theirs. As paddle blades wink in the sun slipping low, peaceful and weary, I've half-mile to go.
Thank you, Harry. We heard you loud and clear from the library, all of you that are running that equipment. Good job. So now we come to my turn. My name is Margaret Jane Jones, and I bring you a poem. I've chosen to present my poem, Brain Trade, because its message seems as pertinent today as when I wrote it years ago, when I was inspired by our daughter's lovable husband, a graduate engineer from MIT, who designed and invented soundproof helmets for deckhands on aircraft carriers, previously doomed to deafness. May this poem, Brain Trade, continue to wear well into the future. Brain trade. What if you could occupy another person's brain for a day? Could you comb through his treasured artifacts like sorting through warehouse trunks? Could you trudge through his slush of trod snow? Would you relive the last goodbye to Aunt Flo laid to rest in pink paisley and propped up on satin pillow? What if you could slip into that inventor's mental maze? Would you surge with satisfaction as you dropped the key piece into the slot? Would you celebrate your soundproof helmet sought by deckhands on aircraft carriers, their eardrums already shot like Swiss cheese? Could you grope through abstracts filled with mathematics taught at MIT and served with slices of high-tech pie? Could you look across an answer landscape on a great plain called Questions You Never Thought to Ask? What if you tried on your friend's topmost section to assess the fit of his photographic mind? Could his diagrams burn into your gray matter like acid etches stone to make lithographs? What free sheet would open up to help on that final exam, the one dreaded, avoided your whole life? What if stepping into another head were like rolling up a window shade or having those dark pathways lit by morning sun? What might another find in a day's brain trade with you? Would anyone out there chance exploring your upstairs? Would anyone stumble into the hidden rooms, the ones trashed with heaps of doubts on the far, or the far one under the eaves with barrels spilling over with regrets? On the other hand, what if someone came across that long hallway leading to the loft of favorite haunts, where happy thoughts are sketched eloquently in stacks of frail parchment on the shelf?
Mhm.
That has come, that concludes our presentation of this kind of poetry. And now it is our pleasure and surprise to turn to a poem by B. Sean Clark. It's a different kind of presentation. And the title of it is It's About Time.
Okay, since he's not here to do his bio, I guess I'll do it for him. B. Sean Clark describes himself as a writer and performance artist trapped in the body of a lawyer. He is currently attempting to reprise the role of Henry David Thoreau in a wooded area along Godfrey Creek in Inglewood, surrounded by nature and wildlife, and in brackets, not counting those rowdy rugrats living next door. His debut work is a sci-fi novel entitled 2020 that takes readers into a world of the future and the present, where those living in Florida coastal communities buffeted by fierce storms and Steinbeck-like privations learn to survive with each other's help. B. Sean is also a lifelong amateur poet who, as you are about to see, patterns much of his work after Ogden Nash. He is always on self-assignments, doing research and a collection of short stories he is writing, and has submitted the following entry in this year's Poetry Pod presentation to the Suncoast Writers Guild via video link to YouTube. It is called It's About Time. And now I'm supposed to say, take it away, Maestro. That's my cue to run his YouTube video presentation. So let's do that. And let's hope it works. And I don't see it. Isn't that wonderful?
Are you screen sharing your screen?
Yes,
Gloria?
for some reason I don't, oh, here, it is. No. I had it queued up and now it's gone.
Try refreshing it.
Well, I guess I'll just have to see if I can do it this way. I don't know what, well, we.
Try this strange 10-second technique tonight to reverse high blood sugar while you
Sorry,
sleep.
that's my computer.
Most people continue to
Sorry about that. I was trying to back you up, Gloria, and I got an ad on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Right, let me go here. And here.
I'm having trouble getting it too.
Here it is. I see it here. Do you see it? I don't know why it's not coming up. Do you see it?
No, I'm going to try and reload it again because it
Yeah,
didn't.
it
You
is
need
up
to-
on my computer, but it won't show on my screen share.
I've got it. Can you make it so that I can screen share?
You should be able to, because anybody can screen share.
No, you have to give me permission to.
Really?
Don't forget to
Unless-
turn on
unless-
sound. Don't forget to turn on sound when you do YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try it. Hold on.
No, it says allow participant share screen. Yeah.
All right, let me know if you can hear this, okay?
Okay.
release scheduled programming to bring
You can
you
hear.
another episode of Poeticus Interruptus.
I don't see it.
And
though.
it's about time. No, seriously.
Did you say you can't see it?
You can't see
Yeah,
it.
that's right. We can't see it.
Hold on a second. Let me see.
I see it on mine. Let me try mine. It popped up
Hold on,
again.
let me, do you want me to try? I thought, it looks like I'm screen sharing, I thought.
Okay, let me try mine then.
Here, wait a second, I think I've got it now.
Okay.
We will get this to work.
There he is. Oops.
Can you see it?
No,
yet.
we only see the YouTube, like the banner,
on.
not the actual video. Oh,
Aha.
there we go.
There it is.
we go.
There it is.
It's about time. Ever get a greeting card from someone? There's no poetry in it. You know, I mean poetry written by the person that sent it to you. Here's one. Thinking of you. Doesn't say anything else in it. I get those all the time, probably like you do too. But there is these people, they're the pod people in Inglewood. I love getting greeting cards from them. Here's one. Ah, see? There's a poem in it. Want me to read it to you? No? Maybe someone with a better voice. Old Year's Night. Old man, still in your swaddling clothes you wore last year when you were born? Why do you fear the night? Avert your face from the face of that piece of time, foretelling your fated end that began exactly 1 year ago. Anishik, walk when the novel no more. New Year's Day. To the east, we see the dawn of a new day, a new year, or so we thought. To the west, they see the dusk settling on a day past, the first of a year's worth to come, or so they thought. These optics are but an illusion as seen by one and then the other on opposite sides of a world, moving them from one place to the next, in time and space, never to meet until they venture to move towards one another. Ah, never to meet until they venture to move towards one another. Hey, aren't you glad someone else read it? But anyway, what does that have to do with time? I'll have to give it more thought. Maybe next episode I'll try to explain it better. That's all the time we have today for Poeticus Interruptus. We return you now to your irregularly scheduled programming. And as for me, my time is up. It's time for put me in timeout.
And that concludes our Poet's Choice for this year, 2022. And if you remember, as Harry mentioned at the beginning, we will now, we still have time. We can take comments if anyone would care to comment on our poems or anything else they have in mind during this presentation. So please feel free to speak.
Ed wants to talk just a second.
Well, it was a completely enjoyable program, and I'd like to mention that every Tuesday night in Northport, the Writers on the Air radio program is recorded and live, and we welcome all poets or prose writers, whatever, to come out there and participate. The sign up starts at 5:30. The show starts at 6. It ends at 7, and you're given 3 to 4 minutes to read whatever it is you're planning to read, and we usually have at least 2 rounds. So you could plan on, probably about 8 minutes total reading time. Last week, we had a woman came down from Sarasota talking about her new book called 70 at 70, where she is interviewing 70 women who have apparently submitted biographies to her that she finds interesting. Is going to put these in a book. We also had another woman from Northport, a poet, but in her new book, which is beautifully produced, book of poetry, looked like it's probably 100 pages or more, very well done. And so that also is very interesting. So we're there every week. We're located in the Warm Mineral Springs Shopping Plaza. I can't recall the actual address of that, but it's at the Common Grounds Meeting Hall, which is adjacent to the WKDW radio station. And as you come north on, assuming you came out River Road, as you come north on 41 into Northport, you see Ortiz Boulevard. You can take a left there and then hit the access road. There's a large golf cart company there called Caddy Carts. And you see it say in the carts out front, and we're in the next second driveway next to that, and you'll see the building. It's a great building. Right now, we're adjacent on the other side to a place called Kindergarten Prep, which was totally destroyed in the hurricane, and you'll see their damage. That's another way to locate us. But you can also find us online and check out WOTA Writers on the Air Facebook page, and it'll bring you to the latest episode. So and then on the Sunday following the Sunday after the show, we're also on the air at 3:04 p.m. Gloria has participated, Eileen has participated, and Ginger has participated in past time. So we welcome you all to come out and give it a try. I think you have a lot of fun doing it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Anybody else? Well, I thought it was a wonderful program. So I thought it was a wonderful program. There was a lot of very nice poetry. As you know, I'm not really a poet person, but I can really appreciate how much work went into each poem and how thoughtful they were. And some were very poignant, some were funny. So we had the whole gamut. So that was a real treat. Thank you so much.
Be over and out.
No, any other comments? I'll hand it back to
I'd just like to say thank you to Margaret for all the effort she put into organizing this wild group of poets and rounding us up and getting things in on time to her and all the reminders. And she was doing all this in the midst of cleaning up her yard and house after Hurricane Ian damage after she got back. So I'm sure there were many times she'd wondered, why did I volunteer to do this at the same time? But thank you so much, Margaret, for all you did to make this possible.
Well, it's sweet of you to say so. Thank you. And we thank you for your help with the technology, which that's a rare talent these days in this group. So thank you.
Bill, I have you, oops, Ed.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say one thing. It's been a long time since I've been face to face with Kari Burgess, so just saying hi to you, Kari.
Hi, it's wonderful to be seen.
I'd just like to say, if you like good music, next Sunday night at 7 o'clock, Venice Chorale will be doing their Christmas program at the Venice Performing Arts Center. And I sing with them, so come see me.
We have a lot of talented people in this group. I have to say that. Yeah.
Yep. Without a doubt. Well, I think that brings the program to a conclusion. I gotta congratulate all the poets and wonderful job that you've done here. I'll echo what Gloria said. It kind of ran the gamut of emotions and had something for everybody to feel a little bit something about something. So it was well done, and looking forward to next year's program too. So for now, we've got just to rehash some things. Long Riders group coming up. Also programs coming up in January and February, things to look forward to there. And with that, I'll pass it back to Gloria and let's go from there.
Thank you, Bill. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for attending today. I hope my recording works. And see you at the next meeting. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Holidays.